Data analysis is important for the success of each and every organization. It enables stakeholders to make critical decisions that are data-driven. A teacher in the class must analyze the academic performance of learners. Today, I will discuss the 7 reasons why a teacher must analyze the academic performance of learners after having administered a formal task or assessment in the classroom. I will further discuss an example of a template that the teacher can use to analyze the performance of learners. My name is Mr. G. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Without any further ado, let's look at why do we do analysis of student performance. First of all, it is important for us to do the analysis of student performance because that is going to enhance teaching and learning. In order for us to improve on our methods that we use to teach the learners, we will be able to do that when we have made or done an analysis of the results, and sometimes those results might enable us to see if the methods that are being used to teach learners are effective or not. Secondly, it helps us to identify problem areas because we shall have done the analysis of results. In those analyses, we're going to have an indication of areas where there are problems, therefore zoom into those problems and be able to be in the position to sort them out. So therefore, that is the second reason why we have to do the analysis of results. Okay, the next one is that it enables us to develop intervention. After having identified the possible problems that could be there in our method of teaching, we'll be able to thereafter come up with an intervention of some kind which is intended to mitigate on the identified problems. So meaning that the possibility of us being able to develop the intervention will be high because we'll have received the data that makes us to know or to see exactly what's going on in terms of the process of teaching and learning. And number 4 is that it makes sure that we don't have any learner who is left behind. So in other words, it makes sure that no learner is left behind. That is to say that if there are learners that might be struggling with some of the topics, when we've done our data analysis, that data will be able to reflect on some of the learners as we shall have done the learners the analysis that these learners seem to be not doing well in this particular topic. So therefore, we'll be able to zoom into those particular learners and make sure that they are being supported so that they are in the same par with the other learners. Okay, so that is the reason that we can indicate that it enables us to make sure that there is no learner that is being left behind. And number 5 is that when we've done the analysis of results or the performance of learners, we'll be able to plan for intervention. Okay, you cannot plan if you don't know what is going on. So once you have data in front of you, you're going to interpret that data and have an indication of what it tells you. Then you'll be able to come up with strategies to make sure that you intervene where it is needed. So the analysis of learner performance will put us in the position to be able to plan for that particular intervention if we are to intervene where it is necessary. And again, it reflects and reviews the identified trends. Okay, so when we are able to do data analysis, we can be able to reflect and review on the trends that might have been identified in terms of the learners. Okay, For instance, we might have discovered that in the first term of the year, mostly learners don't do well in the grades that they find themselves in. So what could be the possible reasons for them not to do well in term 1? So one can attribute that to the fact that learners still have to acclimatize themselves in the new grades that they are in, okay, or the transition period of moving from one grade to the other. That on its own, it's a little bit of a challenge to most of the learners. Hence, we find that most of the learners don't do well in term 1. So when we do data analysis, that is what we will be able to pick in terms of that kind of a trend where learners normally don't do well in term 1. So that is another benefit or the reason why we find ourselves doing the data analysis. When we do data analysis, that is going to enable us to inform decisions in terms of those that are in decision-making positions. When we inform them about some challenges or discrepancies that might be existing in the curriculum, after having done the data analysis, we'll be able to inform those people. So therefore, the analysis of performance or learners' performance enables us to inform those that are in the position of decision making to address the discrepancies that could be there in the curriculum. So those are the 7 reasons why we do data analysis. On the screen right now, we have an example of a template which can be used to analyze the performance of learners in the classroom. And the example of this tool is the one which is called question stroke item analysis. So with this particular template, you can apply it after learners have set for a formal task, and then you want to have an indication of the performance of learners, okay, so that it can inform your decision making in terms of going forward. If ever there are areas or questions which were problematic, then you'll be able to detect that after having done the analysis, making use of this kind of a tool. Let's look at it, right? Right here, you can put the name of the school. Like as I've indicated, it is the question or item analysis tool, all right? Then you have the subject, you put the name of the subject, the grade. In our case, in terms of the example of the formal task that we looked at in the earlier part of the video, is grade 5. So it means you're going to tick or circle here, all right? And then put the date, subject, teacher, the name of the teacher is going to be written there. Then you're going to also give the average of the grade in terms of how learners have performed. Remember, you shall have already marked all the question papers or the scripts of the learners. Therefore, by then you'll be having the grade average. Right, coming into the next part of the item or the question analysis here, there's further information that you will be expected to complete. The first one, class. So this particular tool can be used for more than one classes, okay? Here you will indicate the classes, okay? Then the number, we have one class, okay? Grade 5, all right. Number wrote, okay? The number of learners that have passed, number that have failed, and the number the percentage passed. Now it's the percentage passed, then you have the percentage failed, okay? Then you can further also give an indication of what is the highest marks obtained by a learner there, okay, or learners, the highest, okay. Then also have an indication of the lowest mark. What is it, okay? Give that particular mark here. Going into the right here, we have the achievement levels, okay? So you're going to indicate the achievement levels in terms of the overall percentage obtained by learners. Like for instance, we have learners having obtained a particular mark out of 40, as per our example, our test was out of 40, okay? So you'll determine as to from this particular mark to this mark is level 1, and then in that way, after having converted the marks to a percentage, you will be able to do that. Okay, then give an indication of the number of learners per achievement level in the space provided here. Okay, going down into the next portion of the question or item analysis. Here you are having the sections. Remember that our test was made up of 3 sections, okay? A, B, and C. Then question 1, we said it was made up of, section A was made up of question 1 to 4, okay? So therefore, for each and every question, you are now going to indicate the achievement level. Question 1, okay, how many learners achieved at level 1, and then at level 2, until level 7 per question. Okay, then you're going to have the total right there at the bottom. Okay, you go to question 2, the very same expectation will happen there. Indicate the achievement level per question until when you shall have reached section C. That is wherein you will now be looking at question 7, then indicate the achievement level per question in terms of question 7, how many level 1s and how many level 2s, going down in that way. So when you have completed to fill in the information here, this will give you an indication of the overall performance of the learners in that particular formal task, which will also put you in the position to zoom into the questions that might not have been performed well by learners because of whatever contributing factors. Then you'll be able to develop an intervention strategy. Remember, when you are to develop a subject improvement plan, it should be after you have performed a task like this one of doing the analysis that you now going to be able to zoom into problematic areas, because you used a tool that guided you to a specific problematic area. Then you are able to develop the subject improvement plan, because you now have information. Okay, then moving right along, the other one that you can also use in terms of this one, which is linked to the question analysis. This is the second template. Okay, as you can see, now you will be zooming into the names of specific learners here. You're going to write the names of learners, and then here you're gonna indicate the marks. Remember, question 1 was out of 5, okay, under section A. Okay, what did learner number 1 obtain in question 1? Okay, out of 5 you indicate, okay, until the last learner, depending on how many learners do you have in your class list. Okay, so now you will give the achievement in terms of the marks obtained by individual learners for all the questions. So after having conducted this particular process, you will be in the position to see as to who are the learners who had challenges with some of the questions here. Okay, so this one enables you to zoom into specific learners as to who are the learners who haven't performed well, or who are the learners who have performed well in the test, and who have done well in some questions and also not do well in some of the questions. So this is an example of a question or item analysis tool which can be used to analyze learner performance. Thank you very much for having made time to watch this video. Please click on the subscribe button so that whenever we release the next video, you can be notified. Thank you for your time.